And we roll into the day like so. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Talking Trends for Tuesday, April 3rd, 2018.
Yeah.
How's your April going so far, ladies and gentlemen? Is it going good? Is it what you expected this year?
Today's a delicious day.
Very delicious.
Look out. Oh my God. It's like 12 degrees out there today.
And you know what?
Yeah.
The kicker is, Tony, tomorrow's going to be gross. Heard there's going to be some snow, potentially.
Who told you that?
The weatherman.
All right, someone Google that right quick.
Yeah,
I need an answer now.
I hope it's untrue.
Dude, if it snows tomorrow, I'm not doing the show.
Gonna be very depressed. There's gonna be two depressed boys tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be very sad. Hump day will not be the same.
It will not be the same. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in yet again for another episode of Talking Trends. If this is your first time tuning in, myself and Tony find some interesting news stories from around the globe, and we bring them to the comfort of your home. And we want you to tune in, comment, and opinion on such topics. And unlike other podcasts, this one is done live. So all the better for you to you know, chime in.
Get involved.
Yeah. Also, if you want to find this audio podcast, we're on iTunes and Google Play. Just search Talking Trends, wetalkingtrends.com. All the fun stuff is there, all the old shows, all the new ones. One big place. One big happy family.
Yeah. It's a fappy family.
Yeah, one big fappy family.
Big fatty family.
Again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We got a good show for you today. Without further ado, should we get into it?
Get to it.
Today in Talking Trends history, before we start the show.
Oh, yes.
On this day in 1860, the first Pony Express, not to be confused with Tony's stripper name.
Wow. How did you know that?
Hey.
Supposed to be an NDA sign there.
Oh, well.
Ain't right.
The rumors get out there, friend. The Pony Express mail traveling by horse and the rider relay team simultaneously leave St. Joseph, Missouri. Also, funny enough, Missouri comes up today.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
In Sacramento, California. 10 days later, on April 13th, the westbound rider and mail packet completed approximately an 1,800-mile journey, which then kind of inspired which we know was the post office today.
Right.
So it was done by horse and all that boring stuff.
That's crazy to think about that, man.
I know.
1,800 miles on a horse?
Yeah.
Dude, 10 days?
Just to send a letter.
And we think email is slow.
Right. Speaking of communications, the first portable cell phone made its first call in New York City in 1973 on today.
Dude, that seems so like... I didn't think in the 70s they even had anything like that, but...
It must have been huge.
It must have been like, yeah, the size of like a car.
Yeah.
And one call killed you.
Exactly. Whoever was on that phone got severe radiation poisoning.
Man, he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one last thing today in history, I think kind of important. Earl Lloyd is the first black person to play in the National Basketball Association for the 1950 and 51 NBA season.
He's the first black guy?
First black guy. They figured in 1950 it was getting a little boring, so it's gonna mix it up and throw a black guy in there.
And now look at it.
Now look at it.
Our first find a white guy.
No white people allowed.
Yo, this used to be our sport.
Yeah.
What the hell happened?
Oh man,
You done fucked up.
you done
In the
messed
50s.
up. Yeah, you done messed up. 50s.
Yeah, that was a bad move.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into today's topics.
Yeah.
And today's topics are as such. China is introducing something very interesting as of May 1st. It's kind of a social ban. So if you have bad credit or have done some, questionable things, you may not be able to travel through the air, on buses, etc. Kind of reminds me of an episode out of Black Mirror.
I kind of like this and I kind of don't. I don't know.
Yeah, I have some
on the fence.
conflicting thoughts myself.
Yeah.
Up next, Tony's going to talk about the new Snorting Condom challenge that's taking the internet and world by storm, apparently.
It's something you need to try.
Yes. As if the Tide Pods wasn't enough, the teenagers have yet again outdone themselves.
Yep.
Now, in Missouri, again, a little callback. This interesting situation, there's a turf war between this couple who owns a house in the city. The city wants them to put back their lawn how it was. If not, they will be charged $180,000 or face 20 years jail time.
Incredible.
Insane. And then finally, it is Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen, and that means it's Tony's Trivia Tuesday. And he has a bunch of questions. What are they, 90s related this today?
No, we're doing a spring trivia.
Ooh.
How well do you know spring? And I got 10 questions for you people.
Interesting.
So I hope you're ready. There's no prize, but I hope you're ready.
We'll get to the prizes. There'll be prizes later on this week.
Eventually, yeah, we'll do prizes.
Yeah.
I like that. Why not? We give back.
Exactly.
We're giving back people.
Give more, take less is the motto that I'm living by this month.
I thought it was
Oh God, here
give everything you can and take nothing back. Isn't that what the Pirates of the Caribbean said?
I guess. I've never seen that movie, by the way.
Any of them?
Not one.
Bro.
Am I missing out?
Dude, what is wrong with you? We're having a marathon, brother.
Whoa, all right.
We're doing it.
Sounds good. Before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, April challenge. Today, this month, myself and Tony are challenging ourselves to pick a random word out of the dictionary.
Yeah. Use it.
And use it within one of the stories we choose today. So I went to randomword.com. This is live. This is real time. I'm going to hit refresh.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. And today's word is anagon.
Whoa, man.
Polygon with 9 sides. Anagon? Anagon? E-N-N-E-A-G-O-N.
Anagon.
Anagon.
And it's a 9-sided figure.
Polygon with 9 sides. I know a couple people.
You know how I feel about shapes.
That's right. Yeah, love
I got a major problem with shapes.
All right. All right.
I hate them.
So, interesting story coming out of China. They are going to ban citizens with bad, quote unquote, social credit, rating from taking flights or using trains up for a year. So China said it's going to begin applying its so-called social credit system to flights and trains and stop people who have committed misdeeds from taking such transport for up to a year.
Wow.
So people who would be put on this restricted list include those to have committed acts like spreading false information, so you liars out there, about terrorism, causing trouble on flights. We speak about those stories, as well as those who used expired tickets or smoked on trains, according to 2 statements issued by the National Development and Reform Commission's website on Friday. Those found to have committed financial wrongdoings, such as employers who failed to pay social insurance or people who have failed to pay fines, would also face the same restrictions. It added, the rules will come into effect the 1st of May. So, China has flagged plans to roll out a system that will allow government bodies to share information on its citizens' trustworthiness and issue penalties based on its so-called social credit score. What are your thoughts, Tony, and ladies and gentlemen of the Talking Trends board?
I think it begs the question of when we were talking a little bit about before we got on here. It's weird because it kind of divides a little bit of classes, maybe. Not class. I shouldn't say classes, but
For sure. Well, it does.
there's division.
What if, I mean...
It is. It's a division of classes
Yeah.
in a certain sense, right? So,
some people are unable to pay for certain financial things and tickets. Imagine struggling. I mean, you somehow you drive and then you get a fine, and you're expected to pay this at a certain amount of time, and then you get dinged, but you can't because you don't bring in enough money.
Yeah, I mean, circumstances are all different every single case and situation. So they're just basically drawing a line in the sand and saying, listen, if you don't pay, you're this class or you're this many star rating or whatever the heck you are, whether your case is whatever, if you paid it 5 days later, I don't know. I think it becomes, are we going backwards or are we going forwards with this situation? What's the benefit of doing it? Right?
I think they're trying the safety of people. And the trustworthiness of people, I think, that is what they're trying to encourage.
Yeah.
I mean, I get some of it. I like the situation with the flights. If you want to act up on a plane, I think you should be definitely put on a restricted list and not be allowed to fly, heck, for a year. Probably, let's try again. Or even 5 years for your first offense in the air, acting like a fool on a plane. I've said this before in other stories.
Yeah, I think in some situations you're right. Like the safety part, I can see. Like, all right, that makes sense. Like, all right, if you act a fool on a plane and you've done it more than once or whatever, if you've acted one, you're at a certain rating, 2 times, and then I agree, there's some repercussions. We were talking about that, paying a fine if you're like the guy we were talking about the other day that caused the plane to do an emergency landing, and he might be forced to pay the fuel bill of $17,000. So in those situations, I can see the benefit there. Yeah. My problem is when it becomes a little bit out of control. Like, who's making the decisions to put you in a certain class? Or are you going to have set rules? They're going to be like, listen, these are the rules, guys. If you fail to comply in these areas, you're going to be this class. I like the safety factor. Like, for example, if someone is, a child, molester or something, right? Then I agree. It's kind of like the system where you can see the predator list or whatever in the States. I think in that sense, it's cool because it alerts you to dangers and safety measures.
And, to hell to those places, I think even in Canada, that speaking of child predators, I don't think some of their lists are public. In some cases.
They're not?
I don't think. Some of them aren't public.
I thought that would be the whole point of it.
No.
All right. No. Well, that's a problem.
Right?
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah, but this is where it is. In China?
China.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It's interesting. Again, I was telling you earlier before we started the show. Kind of reminds me of an episode out of a popular show on Netflix called Black Mirror, where it was kind of like a rating system that people had on their phones to rate each other. Right. And when you give certain ratings, that person was allowed to do certain things or not allowed to do certain things. And it's kind of like people of China have taken that the not the joke of the episode, but they've taken the idea of it and are putting it in action. So, I mean, does this continue on into other countries or what? I have no idea.
I don't know. I think it becomes a little tricky because then I think it starts crossing the line of segregation in a way. So I think that it kind of goes backwards and dividing the class systems. So I think that's where it becomes fuzzy for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I think in certain industries it should apply. Yeah. Like I said, the airline industry or sexual assault industry. I think those are not industry, I should say, but space. But I think if you do it in that way, that it can help in the safety realm. Right. When it becomes, I don't know. It's a very, very fine line, man. I think they're, I don't know, maybe pushing their luck a little bit with this one, potentially. You know what I mean? And whether it applies in any other country and it works, that's a whole other thing. It works in China. It doesn't always work here.
Yeah, I know. Just saw a funny comment on the chat there.
The nips?
Yeah.
Is it my nips?
Shouts out to Tony's nips. Well, they're not mine unless it's mine are.
I'm sorry. This shirt's weird. That's my investor chaping in there. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah.
Invest in those nipples, son.
I don't know. Like, they're not hard. They're puffy.
They're just naturally puffy.
Should I stand like this? If I stand like this, it's worse. Are they more protruding that way?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Should I be this way? I don't know.
You choose. You choose. You pick your poison, my friend.
I'm going shirtless, baby.
There you go.
Oh, this lighting is better when I'm up like this.
Oh, go boy.
All right.
Oh, boy. Anyways, yeah, interesting situation coming out of China. So up next, ladies and gentlemen, condoms. Love them or hate them.
Very useful.
Very useful.
For many purposes. Maybe not for this purpose. So we always like to keep up with the trends of the world. As the show is called Talking Trends, this is a trend we should just leave the fuck alone. Tide Pods are dead, people. It's over. That trend is gone. It's boring. Now teens are taking an even grosser challenge in pursuit of internet fame. And this one makes stomachs turn. It's disgusting and it's dangerous. The latest challenge involves snorting a condom up one nostril, inhaling, and finally pulling it from the throat out of the mouth.
All right.
So like other viral fads, this one has been around for years. News to me. Like, I didn't freaking know that. It's now just catching fire on social media. God knows why. Health authorities warn the new game poses a risk and can kill you, as these fads always seem to have a risk of danger.
Can you choose a challenge that cannot potentially kill you, ladies and gentlemen?
That would be nice, but no, there's no excitement in that. Anything that goes up one's nose can damage the sensitive inner lining of your nose, cause an allergic reaction, or result in an infection, wrote Bruce Y. Lee. Bruce Lee, associate professor international health at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. Quote, the condom could be easily stuck in your nose or your throat, blocking your breathing or causing you to choke. Forbes cites 2 cases reviewed in medical journals in which women accidentally swallowed condoms. Developing alignment ranging from pneumonia to appendicitis. So it's not good. Quote as well, even if you manage to successfully pull the condom through your mouth, inhaling a condom up your nose would be very uncomfortable and potentially quite painful. Would it really be worth all of it just to get a few more likes and views? What the fuck is going on in this world?
I have no idea. Is this like, so could you imagine like getting with somebody and like a girl or guy, and the guy's like, hey babe, check this out. Puts the condom in his nose and, you know, out through his mouth, and he's kind of flossing his nasal passages.
Right through, yeah.
Right through.
I mean, that's...
Do you want to get with this now? You
that's sexy.
Get with this? Yeah.
That's sexy, apparently. The sad part is it's teens doing it. I would hope that the parents would be encouraging our teens to do something just a little bit more.
Well, I don't think they're
I don't know.
they're obviously not talking about sex, so they're just, you know.
Well, apparently not.
I mean, it's just interesting, like, the condom doesn't go there.
They must be misinformed.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
There's no more health class.
Clearly.
Well, I mean, they weren't listening in class. I thought it went through my nose.
Yeah.
Isn't that how you get pregnant?
Right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do a southern ignorant accent, but
that's all right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We can't seem to get away from these stupid trends. I'd love, like you said, how about a positive trend?
Yeah.
Like, even as much as I didn't like the ice bucket challenge, at least they raised money from doing it.
It was a good challenge.
Right?
I like the challenge.
But that's a good one.
I participated in it.
There you go. That's a good one. And
because,
then, you know, it's good.
See, the ice bucket challenge, it made sense because it was supposed to kind of replicate just a second of what it felt like having that disease.
Exactly.
For a very brief moment. And then it caught wildfire. But again, it was for a good purpose.
But that makes sense. It's for a purpose.
Yeah.
You're raising money towards this cause and this. Oh man, what in the world? I don't really. I'm having a lot of fear right now for the generation that's about to take over this motherfucking world. Because if this is what they're challenging themselves with, and they're proud of their accomplishments, then we got a problem. We got a major problem.
It's funny because now I think of like, you know, what our parents probably thought of us growing up. Like, oh my God, these kids are crazy. Like, these kids are crazy. No, guys, I think these kids coming up, it's even more crazier.
Here's the thing. We were talking. I agree 100%. They seem to be getting worse and worse. We had weird things when we were kids. We talked about this the other time, like the challenges we did or whatever the thing, like the choking thing. I remember doing that when we were in school or whatever, or the eating cinnamon thing, like eat a spoonful of cinnamon, you know, that kind of thing.
But that wasn't in our time. I think in our time it was like, I mean, I never ate dirt.
I think your time is different than my time.
Yeah.
I'm older time.
Very, the Stone Ages.
Yeah, way back there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When the first cell phone became online.
Right, Tony.
That was my day.
Tony was the guy who did it.
I was the guy, and I never lived. That's why all my hair fell out, because that radiation was something serious. What was the thing in your time?
That's the thing. Well, I mean, in my time, honestly, it's like putting essentially I guess the choking challenge was mine.
Yeah, that was one thing. Right?
But I mean, back like when I talk with friends, like, oh, I used to eat dirt. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You survived, I guess. I guess dirt back then is the cinnamon challenge now.
That's the new cinnamon?
Yeah, the cinnamon challenge. Yeah, it was the dirt.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just.
But it's stupid. I don't
get it.
Yeah, never like drinking bleach challenge. No, eating Thai challenge. No, it wasn't a thing.
Here was my thing though. Like even with the choking thing, like back when we did it, like it gave you a high. There was a euphoric high from it. That's why people were doing it. This, you can't get no high from snorting a condom and out through your mouth. The only reason they're doing it is because of social media. They're trying to get more.
And that's the thing.
That's the problem.
In devil's advocate for a second, do you think in our time, if we had cell phones like we do now,
right?
Do you think those challenges would have been much worse?
I think so, because I don't think humans change from generation to generation based solely on being a human in a different generation. The surrounding, whether it's the social media or the structure of how you communicate or whatever the case may be, I think you're right. That would have probably had a lot to do with it. We probably will have done some dumber shit, I'm sure.
Right.
But this one, I just don't. I mean, I say about all of them, I don't get it. This one I really don't fucking get. Bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I understand.
If I had kids, I'd be very disappointed.
I'm going to bonk them in the head.
Ooh, bonk them. That's
child abuse.
That's an old man term.
My star rating would go way down.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do a quick roll call.
Do it up.
Everybody in the house. Lisa, Kathy, Mac, Evan, Yogi in the house as usual. Kathy. I think I said Kathy already. Sorry. Mike and T-Woo has also joined us.
Shouts out to T-Woo. Hope you feel better,
and my
man friend.
Caleb. My man Caleb, who called out my nips.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Also, Yogi says the new generation of kids right now are all about social media and tech. Everything to them is based on that. It's true.
Yeah.
True. I would say that's the majority.
And appeasing it. It's just like they're trying to impress the technology.
The problem is they're trying to impress strangers and get more likes and views, but they're in the process like losing their brain cells.
And the thing is, the obvious thing, if you realize the longevity it lasts is very short.
Very short. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So like we had the Tide Pod thing.
Yeah.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Like that was days, and then you're gonna have this, and it's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, I just don't understand the point. Like, if you're gonna do something, at least do something that's gonna stick.
Yeah.
Something positive, that is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to put out the negativity out there. Don't do nothing negative.
No.
But so if you're gonna do a challenge, then I don't know. Make it a good one.
A couple people just jumped on, guys. If you're missing it, we're just talking about the latest trend, which is sniffing a condom through your nose and out through your mouth. This is the new fad right now with the kids, and it seems to be tearing up the social media world, as it were. Yeah. Yogi also says exactly. We tried to impress our friends back in the day. Now it's like trying to impress the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could impress your kid. You could impress your friends back in the day a lot easier. Like, you know what I mean? You had your bike, you go off a ramp, you wipe out. Ah, that was cool. You're crazy.
Yeah. And you know what? It's even better because, like, the story itself could be like a legendary story, and you'd have to be there to witness it.
Like, you had to be, oh man, you should have seen it. You should have been there.
Exactly.
Now you can be there because you got the phone.
Yeah, and this is like, blah. And then you just scroll by. Yeah. What's next?
I didn't have to be there.
Yeah, I didn't have to be there.
Did he kill somebody?
Yeah.
No, that's boring.
Remember the time Tony put his condom in his nose and he took it out through his mouth? That was crazy, man. You didn't have to be there to see it.
It was so good. The boogers came out.
Yeah. Anyways, so crazy times we're living in. Stupid times we're living in, ladies and gentlemen.
Alrighty then.
Up next, speaking of stupid times, this is a very interesting story. Coming out of Missouri, a turf war. Court says Missouri couple must plant grass, even though wife is allergic. Let me explain. A Missouri couple decided to turn their entire yard into a flower garden, as you can see here. It turns out that this was a crime against the city ordinance, which says half of its residents' yard must be grass turf. But the wife is allergic to grass. Now, a federal judge has ruled tough to booties. So Janice and Carl Duffner are vowing to fight on. Mm-hmm. They're crazy. The city of St. Peter's near St. Louis put Duffners on notice that they must comply with the law. The Duffners said at the time that they filed their civil rights action in the late 2016, they were subject to penalties of $180,000 and 20 years in jail for non-compliance for your yard, a property that you own. The city's saying, you better pay up or you're going to get 20 years.
Yeah,
and 20 years.
Yeah.
180 and 20 years.
Plus.
So the Duffners bought their home in 2002 and began landscaping that included planting beds, 2 small ponds, pathways, and seating areas. The St. Peter's board adopted the turf ordinance in 2008. And at some point, an identified person complained to the city that the Duffners had no grass. It always takes one person to ruin it. Who was that person who walked by and was like, I don't like Carl Duffner's front lawn. I'm going to report him to the city.
I'm calling it in.
I'm going to call him in, and that'll teach him a lesson. Yeah. And then the fact that they have nothing better to do than to not only, probably with some old, crockety old lady,
for sure,
who came in and complained, and like, you know what, someone at the city office was like, you know what, this is good, this is gonna be good, we're gonna follow this with all of our resources, time, your tax money, don't worry, it's going to a good place, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna charge these people $180,000 and 20 years in jail if they don't comply with our rules. Unbelievable. So the Duffners asked for an explanation, but they were denied. See, that's another thing.
Denied.
Ridiculous. Give me an explanation why you're charging me $180,000 and 20 years in jail.
Yeah.
Because if you can't, then middle finger to you.
Nice.
Right? So instead, the Board of Adjustment in 2014 told them to plant at least 5% of their property with grass. And you know what? They put their heels in and they said no. They refused. And in its response to the federal complaint, the city noted that the Duffners had first gone to circuit court in St. Charles County and had lost there because they had failed to exhaust their administrative remedies. And after a mixed rule from Missouri Court of Appeals, the Duffners turned to federal court. U.S. District Judge John A. Ross last week ruled for the city, saying the Duffners have failed to identify a fundamental right that is restricted by the turf grass ordinance. Unbelievable. The judge said, I can't believe people sit down and come up with this stuff.
No idea, man.
So what did you up to this weekend? It was a busy weekend coming up with the turf grass ordinance. Oh yeah, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, that's super exciting.
So anyways, it's unbelievable. These guys are potentially being charged with $180,000 in fines and 20 years in jail because somebody reported their lawn.
What a weird law to have.
That person,
number one,
sucked in school. Who reported that person
was snorting condoms,
trying to impress friends. No one liked him or her.
Was eating cinnamon.
So what did they do? They just turned to a life of being a little baby in Tattletale. Yeah, I said it. Nothing but a baby.
Little bitch.
Okay, or that.
I just went too rough there. Maybe.
Okay.
The other thing is, too, man, this sentence is crazy.
I don't see again, ladies and gentlemen, court systems and these charges. I don't know.
Never ceases to amaze us. Right? I mean,
you're telling me right now, if my lawn doesn't have a certain percent of turf, I'm going to go potentially do a life sentence.
You got to do 20 years, baby.
Just shy of a life sentence in jail for not turfing a certain percent of my lawn.
And I'm going to take all your money because you owe me $180,000 because that's what grass costs nowadays, apparently. And the pain and suffering of the people that surround your home because they planned on having grass surrounding them all the time. The fact that you chose to plant plants completely destroyed them. And that's not good. So, so good luck to 20 years in jail.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
I don't know. I think it's it'd probably be the same. If you went to this town, it'd be the same town that would have an entagon as a stop sign shape as opposed to an octagon. And I think this is
that was so.
This would be the town that would.
I was going to suggest.
Or did you have another suggestion?
I was going to be like, well, how dare this person report my entagon-shaped garden?
Oh yes.
You know,
entagon.
How dare they say my entagon have a certain percent that's required to the city ordinance?
There's a law in there about entagons.
Yeah,
for sure.
Clearly, there's a law about entagons in Missouri.
We use the word.
Yeah, you know what? I meant to get a little bell today.
Oh yeah, we gotta get. Where do we get those at?
I don't know, like
Staples,
Big Eric's or Staples.
Oh yeah,
or that was easy.
Guys, if you're just joining us, we have to use a big weird word, whatever TK comes up with, and we have to use it into the show in some sort of sentence. And today was entagon.
Today's word was entagon. Thank you.
Which is a 9-sided
polygon.
Polygon. There we go. Successfully done, just in time at the buzzer. It's good.
It's good. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we should have some theme music for you.
We need the game show music or something,
right? Tony's Trivia Tuesday continues this week.
It's that time.
It's that time.
Today we got, what do we got here today? What do you know about spring?
I don't know a damn
Spring
thing,
may be upon us. Apparently, unless we get snow tomorrow, which is, I guess, the report. So we'll go through these 10 quick questions and see how well you know your springness. Let's see. What is the term for a period of unseasonable cold weather during spring? Is it called a locust winter, dogwood winter, or blackberry winter? Or are they all correct? So it's locust, dogwood, or blackberry winter if you call it unseasonably cold weather during spring, which is, if it's which you usually get most of the time. What are we thinking here? Anybody know the answer to this one?
I'm gonna go with just because you like blackberry. I'm gonna go the blackberry.
Try blackberry?
The blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, baby.
Let's see what happens.
I don't know. Here, I'll this one. Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, they're all correct.
Oh,
so there you go. They're all correct.
Sweet.
All right, next question. Which vegetable is considered which vegetable is considered in season in spring? Celery, artichoke, or eggplant? Which one is in season when spring be rolling around?
What were the choices?
We got celery, artichoke, or eggplant. Which one is in season when it comes to spring.
Gotta go with that emoji. You gotta go with that eggplant emoji, my friend.
You disgust me on so many levels. All right, it's artichoke. Sorry, brother.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, next question. The term equinox is defined as when? Is it day and night equal lengths, Earth's two poles meet, or the sun's furthest from the equator?
Let's go for the first one.
Day and night equal length. You're right. What do we have for him, folks? Nothing. We have another question.
Okay.
When is meteorological
Okay, Alex.
spring? When is meteorological spring?
Okay.
So I would assume that's what date? May 1st, April 1st, and May 1st. March 1st, April 1st, May 1st.
Hold on.
What do y'all folks be saying about that one?
Let's go for May.
May? All right. Actually, Amanda had artichoke right for the last one. That's pretty good.
Shouts out.
All right. What do we got here? What do we got? Any answers? Any other answers? March, April, or May? What do y'all think? What did you say, May?
I said May.
Let's take a look-see. It is March.
I was good.
March 1st.
Oh, God.
March 1st. All right, next question. What is the name of the Greek goddess whose return was believed to be the signal of the start of spring? Was it Juno, Persephone, or Demeter, sorry. Juno, Persephone, or Demeter? Who was the Greek goddess whose return was believed to be the sign of spring?
Let's go for...
What are you thinking?
For Juno. I'm going to go for Juno.
Yeah. Juno? Anybody else? You saying Juno?
I'm saying Juno.
Like the award?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the movie, too. I think
like
that was
the
a movie. Yeah.
That was a good movie.
Yeah.
No. Persephone.
Okay, fair enough.
Had to be Persephone.
I know absolutely nothing against spring. I think the 90s one would have been better.
This is an easy one. You should know this one.
Oh, okay.
If a groundhog, no pressure. If a groundhog sees its shadow on Groundhog Day, winter will last 6 more weeks, or spring will arrive early. If it sees a shadow,
it's the first one, Tony.
What?
Let me think about it though.
You just wanted to play that music. I love it. What are you guys thinking here? What are you guys thinking? Doom, 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 doom. Amanda got that Persephone right. What?
Damn.
Wow.
I'm gonna go for
What are we thinking?
the first one.
Too easy.
Yes.
6 more weeks
Yes.
of winter.
Yes.
All right, here we go. We're getting down to the nitty gritty now. Oh shoot! Hang on a second here. I'm gonna skip. Okay, here we go. According to folklore, what can we balance on the ground on the first day of spring? A straight pin, a spoon, or an egg? According to folklore, what can we balance on the... I didn't even heard of this one. What can we balance on the...
and you've heard of all the other ones.
Oh, yeah, I'll tip my tongue.
Okay.
A straight pin, a spoon, or an egg? What can you balance on the ground? I don't know you can balance anything like that, but what do you guys think? Any answers out there? We got big prizes to give away. We have nothing, but you'll be the one that gets it right, and that's all that really counts. So what can you balance on the ground? Straight pin, spoon, or an egg?
I'm going to go for that straight pin.
Joe Kelly chiming in as an egg. You're going with the pin?
Yeah.
He says egg, and it is an egg.
God damn it, Joe.
Got one right.
Get out of here,
Look
Joe.
at that. Get out of this thing. Oh, God. All right. Allergies increase in spring mainly due to what? Wetter weather, feather, or pollen? Is it because of the wetter weather,
I think I know
feathers,
this one.
or pollen? Why does it get jacked up? Why? Tell me why. I need to know why. Allergies increase in spring mainly due to what? Wetter weather, feathers, or pollen?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Someone said egg. I'm not doing egg.
I'm going to go with
Yes.
pollen.
Pollen? Anybody else know the answer to this question? You're going to go with pollen?
I'm going with pollen.
Let's see what we got here. You're right.
Of course.
You are the dude right now.
I live with asthma, my friend.
There we go. All right, and last question. Which ancient monument was built facing the sunrise of the vernal equinox? The Colossus of Rhodes, the Great Sphinx, or the Parthenon in Greece, sorry. So the Colossus of Rhodes, this is a hard one. Colossus of Rhodes, and everyone's Googling it now. The Colossus of Rhodes, the Great Sphinx, or the Parthenon in Greece?
Let's go for the first one there.
I think Joe just said rainbows. It's not rainbows. It is the Great Sphinx. And I think, oh shoot, I have one more. Okay, last one, sorry.
Oh boy.
In the Southern Hemisphere, the first day of spring occurs in what month?
Okay.
In the Southern Hemisphere, December, August, September, or November in the southern hemisphere. First day of spring occurs in what month? December, August, September, or November? Southern hemisphere. Joe put up a symbol. I don't know what it is. What do you guys think? Southern hemisphere, December, August, September, or November?
Let's go for December.
I think Big Daddy.
Big D for December.
Amanda says, I killed it. Where's my prize? Well, I said we had a prize and I lied. I'm sorry.
It's bragging rights.
It's bragging rights. Amanda, she says August. Let's see if she's on a roll and she still got it.
Probably.
No, September.
Oh, everybody's wrong.
Anyway, great. That's it. Thank you, guys. That's spring. Yeah, there we go. You like having a little trivia in there. It's nice.
Yeah.
Get the extra knowledge, people.
There you go. Cannot wait to the springness on all my friends, and they can marvel in my spring knowledge.
Yeah, and they'll be snorting condoms in front of you as it's happening. Like, what are you talking about?
There you go.
It happens.
Yeah.
Amanda says lame. Yeah, sorry. I appreciate your honesty. Yeah, so that's I think pretty much it.
That's today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you sat there, had a chuckle, enjoyed the topics.
Yeah,
it was good. And wherever you're hearing this, I hope it would tantalize your, I don't know, brain.
Where were you going with that?
That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got.
It's all good.
It's all good. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to Talking Trends. Again, we do this Monday to Friday, 5 o'clock to 5:30. Sometimes it runs a little bit longer, but you know what? That's a little bonus for you.
It's all good. You get to look at us just a little bit longer.
And listen to us.
And that's torture.
Depending where you're listening or watching this.
Oh, true that, true that.
So yeah, again, we would love to see you tomorrow for Hump Day.
The happiest. We got to check this snow thing, man. I'm super depressed about this snow thing.
Me too.
Yeah, we'll be back for Hump Day.
Hopefully no snow. And lots of humps, no snow.
Lots of humps. I'm checking the weather right now.
Okay.
I'm going to give you guys a final weather report.
Tony, meteorologist.
Yeah. Tonight, partly cloudy, becoming cloudy late in the evening. Light snow or rain beginning overnight. Snow or rain changing to periods of rain in the morning. Snowfall 2 centimeters, rainfall 10 to 15. All right, listen, if you're in Halifax, I'm calling it right now, we're getting rain. So, because the temperature is not dipping below zero except for Thursday night, but there's no participation. So, listen, we getting rain.
Okay, you want your news? You want your
calling it.
Do you want your news music? Okay, go.
Snow or rain changing to periods of rain in the morning. Risk of thunder showers late in the morning and in the afternoon. Fog patches developing in the morning. Rainfall amounts 10 to 15 millimeters. Snowfall amounts 2 centimeters inland and overnight in high terrain. Wind southeast 30 kilometers gusting to 50. Becoming southwest 40 gusting to 60 except gusting to 80 along parts of the coast. In the afternoon, a high of 10. Back to you, TK.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Talking Trends, and we will be back tomorrow.
That was a good audition.
Yeah, that's not too bad. That was actually pretty good.
That was pretty hard.
You should be a meteorologist, man.
A meteorological
Give Cindy Day for a little run for her money.
It's time for that old bitch to go.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding.
Jeez, Tony.
I'm just kidding. I love you, Cindy. I don't really care.
Okay.
Anyway, I could crush her. What are you talking? That was pretty good.
That was good, Tony.
All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Hump Day, rain or not, rain, snow, sleet, or whatever you want to call it. We will be here.
Sleet, hail, snow. That's how it goes.
I hate you.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll be back tomorrow, guys. 5 o'clock. I hope we see everybody there.
Sounds good.
Have a good evening.
Have a good evening. Stay positive and be safe.